Hey everyone, Hunter here for Competitive Bio. This time we're going over Scizor, the pincer Pokemon. First off, Scizor can Mega Evolve, which is huge, guys. Scizor was already a threat in competitive, but now Mega Scizor is just even more of a threat, and we'll go into that a little bit later. First, we're going over Scizor's typing. Mega Scizor retains his Bug Steel typing when he evolves, which is good. That's good typing to have. Since both Steel and Bug are weak to Fire, though, it would give him a harsh 4 times weakness to Fire. That is his only weakness, though, and his Steel typing does give him a lot of resistances with Bug, Dragon, Fairy, Grass, Ice, Normal, Psychic, Rock, and Steel. Normally, Steel means that he'd resist Flying as well, but with his Bug typing, it means that he'll be taking normal damage to Flying. But his Bug typing does help him out with resistances against Fighting and Ground types, which is pretty big. Those are some of the bigger weaknesses that Steel has, especially in the current meta. And he's actually going to be getting a ×4 resistance to Grass because both Bug and Steel resist Grass. Next, we're going to be going over Scizor's base stats. At base 70 HP, that's not the best. He can still take some hits with his defensive stats, but I wouldn't consider him bulky. At 130 attack, that's really good. He's going to be hitting really hard, especially since with a lot of his moves, he's going to be doing like 180 power with a lot of them. So 130 attack to back that up is really good. At a base 100 defense, that's pretty good. He can take a physical hit really well. And base 55 special attack, that's really not the best. But you're not going to be doing a lot of special moves with Scizor anyway, so that really doesn't matter. And base 80 defense, again, not the best. He can take a special attack, but I wouldn't consider that bulky special defense. And a 65 speed, he is made of metal, so I kind of get that, but that is really slow, especially for something that you want to consider a sweeper. So he's not really going to be something that's going to be hitting first, but that's fine because he has access to some moves, and that really won't matter anyway. Mega Scizor has better stats. Base 70 HP, again, not the best, but he has some boosts to his defensive stats, that's pretty good. 150 attack, that is huge. He's going to be doing a lot of damage. That's higher than most Pokemon. And 140 defense is really good also, so he's going to be able to take a physical hit extremely well. 65 special attack, they didn't really need to give him the extra 10 base stats in special attack, in my opinion. You're not going to be doing any special moves with Mega Scizor anyway, so it was unneeded. Base 100 special defense, it's definitely an improvement. He's going to be able to take a special attack way better now. It just makes him actually bulky at this point. And base 75 speed, I guess it made it to where he can maybe outspeed some of the other slower Pokemon, but it wasn't really needed. With his high defensive stats, he can take a hit anyway before he sweeps, but it's alright. He's able to outspeed some of the slower Pokemon, I guess. Next, we're going to be going over Scizor's abilities. Scizor can normally have 2 abilities, Swarm or Technician, and its hidden ability is Light Metal. Swarm boosts the user's Bug-type moves by half if the user is at or under a third HP. Technician boosts all the user's moves by half if they have 60 power or less. And Light Metal halves the Pokemon's weight in battle. Out of the 3 of these, Technician is the one that most Scizors use, because any attack that normally has 60 power is actually going to be doing 90 power, and if they're a Steel or a Bug-type move, then they're going to be boosted by Stab. So actually it's going to be more like 135 power, which is a lot, especially with that huge 150 attack boost. And Scizor gets a lot of moves that can really take advantage of that. Mega Scizor gets Technician, which is really good because that was one of Scizor's best abilities. And the fact that Mega Scizor gets it with his really high attack stat, he can really take advantage of some of the moves that he has access to. Moving on to some of those moves, Scizor has access to Bullet Punch, Bug Bite, Aerial Ace, Thief, Knockoff, U-Turn, Swords Dance, Swagger, Roost, and Toxic. Bullet Punch has 40 power, so that is boosted by Technician and also boosted by Stab since it's a Steel type move. It also has +1 priority, which is really good, so despite Scizor's really low attack, it will be hitting first with Bullet Punch. Now, Bug Bite is an interesting move. It has 60 power, so it's boosted by Technician, and Stab because it's a bug type move. When the user attacks a Pokemon that's holding a berry, Scizor will eat the berry and gain the effect. So the opponent no longer has that berry, and if it's eating like a citrus berry or something, it will be healed. However, if it's attacking something with like a Jaboka berry or a Tenga berry, it won't eat the berry, and actually the Pokemon will gain that effect. So if it's attacking like a Machanra with a Tenga berry, since Bug is super effective against Psychic, Machanra will actually eat the Tenga berry first and gain the effect from it, so Bug Bite will be doing less damage because of Tenga berry's effect. Aerial Ace is a good move because it has 60 power, so it's boosted by Technician, and it's a flying type just for the sake of diversity. And also, it ignores things like accuracy and evasion. So, if your opponent has like a couple of double teams on you, or use Sand Attack, then Aerial Ace will still hit 100% of the time. Unless the Pokemon is like something like Underground with Dig or in the air with Fly. Then Aerial Ace won't be able to hit for that turn. Thief is an alright move for Scizor to have. It has 60 power, so it's boosted by Technician, and it's a Dark type just for the sake of coverage. However, if Scizor is holding an item like Scizorite, so it may not be able to get the full advantage out of Thief, but for the sake of coverage, it's a really good Dark type move with Technician, so for the sake of coverage, it's not a bad option. Now, Knockoff is a 65 power move, so it won't be boosted by Technician, but it's an alright move because even though you won't be boosting your power, you'll still be able to knock off your opponent's item. So not a hard hitting move, but it's alright for the sake of utility. Now with U-Turn, it's the same thing. With 70 power, it won't get the boost from Technician, but it will get the boost from Stab, and it's a good utility move, because with that 70 power, Stab, and Scizor's really high attack stat, you will be able to use it and get the effect to switch out. For the sake of power, you might as well use something like Bug Bite, but just the fact that it's there, it's really good, and it's just not a bad choice. Now onto some of the utility moves. Swords Dance is really good because that will sharply raise Scizor's attack by double. So that 150 base attack that we saw earlier is basically going to be 300 attack, which is extremely good. He's going to be hitting really hard under a Swords Dance. Swagger is an alright move. You don't see many Scizors use it. Roost is a great move for Scizor, especially with how bulky Mega Scizor is. He's going to be able to gain half his HP back, which is a lot. That's really huge, and it just means that he's going to be able to stay on the field way longer. Now, Toxic is one of those moves that you don't really see running too often on Scizor, but just the fact that it's there, with how bulky Mega Scizor is and the fact that it gets Roost, you can stall out your opponent really well. It's not what most people do with their Scizor, but just the fact that it's there is just really good. Now let's go over some sets that you can do with Scizor. The build that I always have in mind for Mega Scizor is a bulky Swords Dance set. You're going to have Scizor holding Scizorite so it can Mega Evolve and take advantage of that 150 base attack. Take an Adamant one, put 252 EVs in attack and 252 in HP. The remaining 4 you can put into something like defense. Give it Bullet Punch and Bug Bite for its main attacking moves, Swords Dance to boost its attack, and give it another utility move to really put the pressure on the field. You could also switch it up a little bit and give Scizor mixed defensive stats to take advantage of his really good base 100 special defense. If you get a careful one, put 252 in special defense instead, and put the other 4 in HP. It won't get his special defense nearly as high as his physical defense, but it's worth a shot. For a bit of an unusual set, you can try a bulky Toxic user. This really is an unusual one because it takes complete advantage over Scizor's bulk and the fact that it can learn Toxic and Roost. Take a careful one, put 252 in HP, 232 in special defense, and 24 in physical defense. This will give him a much more even defensive spread. Give him Toxic, Roost, an attacking move like Bullet Punch, and a utility move like Swagger, Knockoff, or U-Turn. And that concludes our very first competitive bio. This is the first one that I've ever done, so if you guys like the idea of this, let us know, and feel free to give any advice that you guys have. Since it is the first, I'm very open to improving it or maybe adding things to it, and thanks for watching.